I now request that the members of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies take hold of your hammers and join together in driving the first nail for the 60th Presidential Inauguration platform.
Well, everybody, you just watched the legislative process play out. The play that we ran tonight was the right play. It's the right fight for the American people. It's the one that they demand and deserve. I made it very clear over the last couple of weeks. We have two very important objectives right now. Congress has an obligation to fund the government, and Congress has an obligation to ensure that our elections are secure, fair, and free. This vote tonight would have accomplished both. I'm very disappointed that it didn't pass. I want to note that every Democrat except three went on record once again for the second time voting against election security. What the SAVE Act would have accomplished, as everyone knows, is to ensure that illegals and non-citizens cannot vote in the upcoming election. Right now, we have no mechanism for the states to require proof of citizenship before they register to vote. That is a serious problem. It is about an 88% issue in polling across the country, and it is not partisan. But we missed that. We ran the play. It was the best play. It was the right one. And so now we go back to the playbook, draw up another play, and we'll come up with a solution. I'm already talking to colleagues about their many ideas. We have time to fix the situation, and we'll get right to it. I'm disappointed. I know this was the right thing to do, and I think the American people are going to let a lot of the folks that voted no tonight hear their concerns about it. So stay posted. As fate would have it, my wife Kelly and I were at Mar-a-Lago to meet with President Trump. We were supposed to meet earlier after the shooting attempt. We joined him immediately thereafter. We spent almost 3 hours with the president. I would just tell you, and you may have heard my personal reflection on this, he was completely unrattled by the experience. Donald Trump is a strong individual, and he's a strong leader. And I don't think anyone can argue the case that there's been anyone, and certainly in the modern political era, probably throughout our history, who's been so aggressively attacked, and yet he remains so resolute and so committed to keep fighting for the American people. And I was very inspired by that. And I know that we all understand we've got to get down to the bottom of this. The Secret Service has dropped the ball, and it's inexcusable. We have a task force that has been investigating the events of Butler, Pennsylvania. As our conference chair, Lee Stefanik, noted, we're going to expand the scope of the task force to look into the events that happened in Florida on Sunday as well. We have got to get down to the bottom of this. We've got to ensure that this doesn't happen again. If they need additional funding, Congress will supply that. But we're told it's a manpower problem. Even if we gave them $3 billion tomorrow, it's impossible to hire 2,500 new Secret Service agents in a short period of time. We're less than 50 days out from the election. We need Donald Trump to be protected, as any candidate of his stature would be. I called the White House yesterday. I made a demand to the White House of President Biden. Supply for President Trump the same degree of protection that a sitting president has. He's a former president. I believe he's going to be the next president, and right now he's a candidate under the greatest threat of any candidate in modern political history. It justifies that level of protection. I think the White House, I hope the White House will see the wisdom in that, and I hope that they'll do everything they can, because the buck stops at the White House in the Oval Office, and President Biden has an obligation to that.